Now, I want to talk about this shit right here with I want to talk about this shit right here with Candace Owens, right? So, you know, I fuck with Candace Owens. Don't get me wrong. I fuck with her though. You know what I mean? She got a lot of good points. I like some of her stands, right? But at the same time though, we gotta look at it though. We gotta look at it though. You know what I mean? Let's take a look at it and then we're gonna get back to it. But let's see what Charlamagne, asks her real quick. Let's go.
For evil. It really would have been used for evil.
Now, I want to go back to something you said earlier because I know a lot of people will hear you say, well, Candace, you're speaking a lot about, the black family, but then you married a white man.
Yeah.
Dr. Umar would have a huge problem with that.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Dr. Umar?
I have heard of him. I have not listened to him, I'll be honest. What is his argument, actually, if you could just repurpose his argument
He
for me?
feels
Everything black.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Every damn
No,
thing.
he feels black men should be with black women because when you're talking about it from an economic standpoint, you want to grow the wealth as a black family.
But that doesn't...
And if you marry somebody from another race, then, your wealth will be with that person, and he doesn't like that.
Okay. I would love to talk to him more about that because, it's always very interesting to me to hear this paradox of black people who will make an argument that, the system is racist and then also make an argument like this, which is essentially making an argument for the Supreme Court to revisit Virginia versus Love and basically say that black Americans and white Americans shouldn't be marrying. I think the greatest thing ever is when people come together on the basis of who they love and get married. For me personally, I never thought of my husband as a race. It's just very interesting to me that see people go, she's married to a white man. When I look at my kids, I'm not like, oh, my kids are mixed. I married the person that it made the most sense for me to marry. I have a mind that is just, if you even knew half the things that I'm thinking about, the stuff that I'm reading, just go all the time. It was difficult for me to find a partner that was a challenge to me, the challenge that I needed, whether you want to say like an academic challenge, whatever it is, with my same interests. It just was. What you will know, a lot of times people think that when people come together, it's because of how they look. Actually, I actually read this in a Thomas Sowell book, or maybe it was a Shelby Steele book. People tend to marry their IQ, which is interesting. You think like if you see two black people together, oh, it's because they are two black people, but actually they are probably better matched based on their IQ. I fell in love with my husband just because I think he is one of the most brilliant people ever. I love him very much. The stuff that we talk about, I'm like, there is no other person that I could have married. We have 3 beautiful children who are growing up in an environment that I am just so happy that I was able to, what every parent wants, to give your children better than you had, and that's all I can say. I'm just the luckiest person in the entire world.
How was he going to feel about you not finding him attractive and just liking him for his mind?
Oh my God. What?
He got the smear already ready for the
She
journalist.
talks so intelligent though. You know what I mean? Like she smooth around the corners and shit. Not to get on her though. Hey, shout out to you. Oh shit, my fault. You know what I mean? But hey, my fault. But shout out to Candace Owens. I fuck with her on a lot of talking points and shit. But look, when she was asked this question though, she was fumbling though. You know what I mean? Like, and she said a lot of things that really was like around. Like she said, the government. That would be like, when Charlamagne brought up Dr. Umar, and he wouldn't like it because of economic reasons. But that I don't think that that's necessarily the only reason why he wouldn't like it, though. That's one of the reasons why he wouldn't like it. You know what I'm saying? So she took what he said, like, economics, because that's what he brung up. And she took that and was like, well, that's not right if you fighting for, saying it's a white motherfucker, then at the same time you want the white motherfuckers to change the laws on some shit. She's correct about that particular point, but at the same time, I don't think that that's all Dr. Umar will hit you with, though. That's not the only angle. So because, we have our own rules in our culture, though. You know what I mean? And that I believe that that's more important than discovering the laws of the land, and you know what I mean. I believe that if you can unlock our culture through history, through spiritualness, that I believe that you can, it's easy to see the law. That's nothing. Like, the motherfucker's crooked. You know what I mean? So she didn't want to answer about her white husband and shit like that. And to me, that is a red flag. If that's like if I'm dating a little bitch and she just toxic as a motherfucker. You know what I mean? That's a red flag. Things that happen in a relationship, like, oh, this is drinking too much or some shit like that. Like, that's a red flag. You know what I mean? Or she talking to you crazier than most motherfuckers would talk to her. You know what I mean? These are red flags. So what I think about this is, Candace Owens didn't have nothing to say about that because she's really in the wrong about that. Because everything, her talking points on that was not legit. It didn't fit the culture. And even if she don't come from the culture, cool, whatever. You grew up over here and over there, whatever. But at the same time, look, if you're going to be about it, then be about it, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I disagree with Candace Owens marrying a white guy, I mean, with all her talking points. And matter of fact, let's go here and see what she say about black people real quick. And she married a white guy, so let's look at this real quick.
Monolith. I'm just saying that black people create magic when they want to, okay? There's no singer that is better than a black singer. If you want to go tit for tat, give me the best, white singer versus the best black singer. Like, we have unbelievable talent, right? So if you're going to tell me that what we are now making mainstream is the filth that I hear today, I'm going to start asking questions about who's condoning this, who's signing these people.
But music is an algorithm, right?
Now, she's right. You should ask the questions about who's signing people, who controlling the narrative, right? But at the same time, you brung up that we are, the greatest, basically. You saying black people are the greatest, but then on the flip side, you talk about a white husband, and you don't view race, right? You don't see race when your husband is, you don't look at your kids and think that they mixed or no shit like that, right? So your talking points is off on that. You know what I mean? Because now on the flip side, you talking about some whole other shit, but you still brung up black people and was like, no, black people basically the greatest. We top everything. So that's where I'm looking at Candace Owens like, nah, that shit ain't adding up. Right? I'm going to call you out for that shit right there. And I want motherfuckers to call me out for my shit. But at the same time, I'm calling her out for her shit. So, hey, that's not 100. I like your talking points and all that shit. That's not 100. But she did say something that I didn't know. Let's go to that right now. Which is interesting, right? Which is very motherfucking interesting. Let's look at it real quick.
Something not right there in that entire situation. And yeah, I'm telling you, look into it. It's a wild story.
Now, why do you believe that Hollywood was created by the CIA?
Well, before we say Hollywood was created by the CIA, I guess I should clarify because, first off, you guys do know that the Pentagon has a budget for film. Like, there's a whole department in the Pentagon.
Know that.
That's a fact. There you go. That's all you need to know. There's an entire department in the Pentagon. They get involved with films, and they get involved with films for the purpose of propaganda. They always have.
What movies have
I
they
should have
produced?
said Pentagon instead of CIA. Tons of them. I should show you the list. You should pull it up. It's
Google it right
wild.
now.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
Pentagon
please.
Department for Hollywood. Tons of them.
I have to
Even
report this.
Transformers. Even Transformers, like, because they're concerned about certain narratives. They get involved with, like, World War films, like, how are we telling a story about history? Usually it's because we're lying about what we did or trying not to make Americans aware of the crimes against humanity that we commit overseas,
Yeah, the Pentagon has funded some films. Black Hawk Down, Red Dawn, GoldenEye.
The more you know. So now you understand your experience in theaters is what your government wants you to think. They want you to think that this is how things happen, and it's usually not at all how things have actually happened.
6 of the best movies made with help from the Department of Defense. This is military.
Yeah. I shouldn't have said CIA. I should have just said the government. But
Top Gun,
yeah,
Red Dawn, Apollo 13.
it's all about
Iron
just.
Man?
Iron Man. Oh my
I
God.
didn't know that was on the list.
Now he upset.
Wow.
Now he upset. Let me ask,
Interesting.
now you
but
said
talking about, continue.
What? Iron Man? Nah, that's her limit right there. She was like, you know what? Now it's crazy.
What is the point of that? Just control?
Yeah, propaganda. It's crazy. You grow up in school and you think propaganda belongs to the east or something. Propaganda is the name of the game of our government. They, again, never want you to look into the crimes that they are committing. So they're constantly trying to sell themselves as the good guys. They did the most. They rescued and saved the world. They've never done anything bad overseas. If you are living and you believe that the American government hasn't committed crimes against humanity, you had to wake up from the propaganda. You just got to, you got to learn real history, not what was taught to you in a textbook. That's all just propaganda. You know, we've done horrific things. Things.
You mentioned Kanye put you on the phone with T.I. and
Now, I told y'all that shit was crazy, you know what I mean? How the fuck the government got a budget in Hollywood making movies? We never know. Like, you got to look behind the scenes on a lot of this shit, though, out here. Entertainment is goofy. You know what I mean? It's straight goofy. Like, entertainment is not the lane. Basketball, all of that shit is entertainment, man. And I'm just here to let y'all know that shit is goofy. And I'm sure a lot of y'all know that shit goofy. But, you know, I was saying, you know, I've been saying that Candace Owens got good points. She got a lot of knowledge, but I don't think she come from the hood or no shit like that. So, you know, you got to look at it, you know, man, she got a lot of shit, but she got a lot of faults, just like everybody. You know, but ain't too much I could say. Just go look that shit up, you know what I mean? And look, I'm out of here, man. I'm tired as a motherfucker. I've been putting in this motherfucking work. You know how I do it. I'm used to it, and I'm turned right now, but I'm gonna go the fuck to sleep. Oh God, like, so hey, like, comment, subscribe, fuck with your boy. I'm out.